So I hope you enjoyed and even gave a try to playing the wolf from last week. It's a hornpipe, and I had so much fun just writing that tune. And today I just wanted to play a couple of variations from it. I think I've said before, and maybe you've discovered it yourself if you write tunes, that it can be really hard to do variations on your own tunes because number one, you're trying to impart the tune itself, and then you can get really stuck in the notes. And I found that sometimes doing a recording meant that you really listened for the fatigue of hearing the same notes a little bit more than you would if you sat in a session or even if you just played it for somebody, your new tune. So you're there, you're listening to the tune you're about to put on a recording, and you go, yeah, something needs to happen for interest's sake, for fun. I always say for fun, and it's a big part of it. So last week I played the tune all the way through, and I just wanted to isolate a couple of variations. So as you're listening, there's a couple of moves that I make. And so one of them was was this. So this is a move that's not quite Irish. Well, it's not Irish in its feel, and yet it suited the character of the wolf. And so I'm going to play this a couple of times, and so it starts. So, a couple of times. Right, and when I do, I'll show you exactly where. Now, I'm just telling you what I do. Instead of going, for some reason I really like going to the grace note with the fourth finger. So it's, that's an E flat down there. So all of that together a few times. Now, just creating a variation, I really like the next spot. So from there, and when I did it last week, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. So I worked on this a couple of times before filming this. So here are the real notes of what happens in that spot. This is a flat, A, B, C, D. So it's, and then there's a big old run. So you start back here with that E flat. But the whole run is this. And so why am I showing you this? I think it's just the kind of thing that might appear in another tune. This idea of just finding out and doing these little chromatic runs led to this nice spot, which I think, again, suited the character of the wolf. So again, this whole phrase from the start is... I'm kind of continue. All right, so that's one. The other one that I wanted to show you is that it becomes like a little jazz piece. In fact, some of that is kind of like a little jazz piece. Not that I ever learned jazz or know that much about it, but there can be these little synchronized, syncopated notes. And when you would have listened to last week's, you'll notice that I come around to the first part again, and do this. Onward with the tune. So let me break that one down for you as well. So it's starting like this. I'm going to do it 3 times. Not so great that time. Right. And I end this phrase as if I'm going. So. But when I do that B, I think I've never even thought about it as anything but this double stop, which is a B and a G sharp. And yet it really is the B that is the tune. And it is the B that's the tune and not the G sharp. But together it sounds like this. So it's from the beginning to there it is. And let me try it once more. A couple of different ways there. I guess maybe I'm not that firm on it. I can change those last notes a few times. From there's a nice little climb up. Who would I have heard doing this kind of a thing? And what is the timing of it really? But I'm ending up with And then now I suppose you have to listen to my foot do that. So all of that together is, let's see if I count a 1, 2, 3, and. We do that a couple of times. I'm really just doing an octave there. That's habit. I probably could have just stayed with the fourth finger here. So again, 1, 2, 3, and. And then the ending of this is. Oh, yeah, that's kind of complicated. I think without hearing it from the spot that we started first, it's going to make less sense. So maybe I'll start here again with the count of 1. And the last thing that I thought I would show you just in slow motion is at the very end of the tune, the second part, and I'm going along, and here's the second part. It just varies. It's really a piece, isn't it? And unlike a lot of tunes where I would just be making up things on the spot, these are like little givens during this tune. And I like all of them, and therefore they all had to be in. And if I were to play this today in a concert, I would put them mostly in. Yeah, maybe I would change a roll or change a triplet. But I love all of these little variations, and I think, again, they make the character of the wolf, and so they're like necessary. And so, unlike a lot of tunes that I've done, this is like a piece. So I hope that was interesting, and that you'll give any of those a try. I think it's so good to just try things on our fingers. We don't have to do them. We don't have to even like them, but I think they're good for us, and they open up the world of other sounds. One last word just for my fiddle patrons here is that it's so nice to do these little pushes with the bow. You'll see that the bowing during this tune and during lots of hornpipes, that you can do a lot with these little pushes, and when you kind of dig in, press down, push, I think that it can add so much energy to your playing. If I play that tune with none of that kind of push going on, and I'm just gliding the bow, as opposed now, so if I'm really feeling what direction I want to go, down, up, so I really don't think there was any difference in the expression of my left hand, so that the only difference was what was happening with the right hand. And I think maybe some of you might have seen years ago, I put a little recording of April Macaulay, who's a lovely young fiddle player from Scotland, and she was playing a tune of mine that's called Sevens. And when she did, the striking thing was not even the fingering. It wasn't the left hand. It was these kinds of pushes with the right hand. Number one, I guess it's spelled command of the right hand, but also, yeah, there was just an energy to the playing of this young person. I think she was 9 or 8 when I heard her first. Louise Hunter was her teacher in Scotland, and she sent a recording of her. It's the only thing I ever put up that I swear to God, if you want to talk about viral, it was viral. And maybe if I can find it, I'll put it on our post this week. But this wonderful energy with the right hand. I think you love doing it, or you don't love doing it, but even if you use it just a little bit, I think it can so add to your playing. And on a tune like this, which I say is more like a piece than it is a straight ahead hornpipe, I very much doubt that it's going to be played in a session unless the original notes just fly along and it's just that tune without all of these variations. But if all the variations are in and it's a piece, this energy with the right hand is something I love to do. And if you haven't done it before, you're just finding these tugs, usually into a beat, especially with reels, and yeah, it's great. It's fun, and okay, I'm leaving you with that today. Okay, enjoy this tune again. We're done with this one. See you next time.